Good morning, boys and girls of fourth grade. Welcome to one of my new video lessons of social studies. So I hope you have enjoyed your vacation, and I hope you can enjoy this lesson too. So I'll try to explain, to remember certain things and to explain. I will use a PowerPoint, and we will talk a little bit more about the republic, the democracy, because remember that Chile is a democratic republic, and things like that. And important concepts will be voting, the vote, democracy, elections, etc. So I will use a PowerPoint to explain certain things. So I'm going to share the screen to show you the PowerPoint I will use to explain this a little bit better. So here it is, the PowerPoint that I hope you can see. And today this is the topic for today, that people participate voting. Well, as we learned before in our previous lesson before, we learned about the characteristics of a democratic republic, because remember that Chile, it's a republic. There were three characteristics. The first one is that the rights should be equally guaranteed to everyone. The second one is that the rulers, so for example, in our case, the president, they must be very interested on the benefit of all the society, not only the majority, of all the society. And this is something very important, and this is something that we will go a little bit deeper today, is that in a democratic republic, in a real democratic republic, we must have free elections regularly, okay? That is very important. So those are the things that we talked in our previous lesson. So election, let's talk a little bit about elections. Well, elections, we do elections all the time when we choose different things. For example, when you choose, for example, in the supermarket, what are you going to eat or not? Oh, you can choose your clothes. I mean, we're doing elections, we're doing decisions, we're making decisions all the time. But in this moment, we're talking about elections in terms of the community, in the society. So we participate in the community in different ways. We have learned that. For example, you can participate in the school, you can participate in the community, collaborating. For example, when you collaborate with Telethon, you are participating in the community. When you participate in the things that we organize here at the Orchard College, you are also participating in the community, because Orchard College, as well as all the schools in the world, they are inserted in the community. So we are participating in the community in different ways. But today we're going to talk about a particular and more formal way to participate. When we participate with our voting for a mayor, for a president, or for any other authority, that is a right and also a responsibility. It's a right because it's something that if you fulfill the requirements, you can do, you can decide, and you can do that. And because it's a right, it's not that, for example, if there is a person with more money, is going to have the right to have more votes or to vote different times. No. Every person that fulfills the requirements has the right to vote. It doesn't matter if it's a woman or a man, if it's a millionaire person or if it's a poor person. We all have the same right to vote, and we can do it. We can decide. We can decide who will be the next president, or you can decide who will be the next mayor, etc. And it's also a responsibility because you have to follow certain instructions when you go to vote. I mean, you can't just vote with your own paper. You will receive a vote. So responsibility means that you have to follow certain rules. So it's a right, but as well as a responsibility. Let's talk about a little bit more about vote. Well, the requirements to vote here in Chile is that people, they should be in their 18 years old or older. Only that people can vote. And another thing that is important is that the vote is secret and personal. For example, in the picture, you can see the place where you can vote, and that place, it's covered with a blue or sometimes a black curtain. That's because the vote, when you're doing the vote action, is something that you have to do secretly, and it has to be personal. For example, I cannot tell you another person, hey, can you vote for me, please? No, that is not according to our Chilean law. So as you can see in the photograph or in the left, there is a person. One person is voting, so it's personal. That vote belongs to that woman you can see on the picture. So remember, 18 years old or more, over, and the vote is secret and personal. And we have some elements, and it's good to learn some of the things, the vocabulary when you vote. Well, in English, as we learned here in Orchard College. For example, the first word, or the first phrase, or the first element is voting booth. The voting booth is that box or that space, that place where you can go into that and you can vote secretly, and you can close it with the curtain. Also, we have the vote, and you can see an example of the vote where you can vote for the one that you want. We have the voting table with the number 34. The voting table, well, is where people have, for example, they have a big book with the names. So before you vote, you write your name and you have to sign, and you receive your vote, you vote, and then you put it into the ballot box. Then we have the officers. The officers, you can see on the photograph that there is a lady and there is a man, a gentleman, and they are the officers. So what do? They make sure and they oversee that everything is being done according to the law. Okay, they are the officers. And finally, that little box where people can put the vote, is the ballot box. It's the ballot box. So the vote in Chile is voluntary. It's not an obligation. You can decide, because it's your right and it's according to the law, if you go or you don't go and vote. But you need to fulfill certain requirements. You need to be a Chilean citizen and to be over 18 years old. And if you are a person from another country living here in Chile, you have to be living in Chile for more than 5 years and to be over 18 years old. So, can children vote? No. So, unfortunately, minors can't vote. I'm sorry. Well, this is the activity for today. You have to do this homework in your notebook, and you have to answer in your notebook. Don't forget to write the title, homework, and the date. These 2 questions. What does it mean that Chile is a democratic republic? Well, the answer to that question, you will find it in the information we learned in our previous lesson. So if you don't remember, you can check either your notebook or the video on my YouTube channel. And the second question is, why is it important for the country, that people exercise their right to vote in the elections? Okay, so you have to answer those two questions, and it's important to, if you don't remember some words in English, use your dictionary. So remember, what does it mean that Chile is a democratic republic? And you can answer something like this. For example, it means that, and you write your answer. And for number two, why is it important for the country that people exercise the right to vote in the elections? You can write, it is important that people vote in the elections because in this way, and your answer. Okay? So that was the lesson for today. If you have any questions or any doubts, don't hesitate to send me an email or a WhatsApp through your mom or dad, and I can clear out any questions or any queries or doubts you can have. So have a good day, and I hope you have enjoyed this lesson. So bye-bye, fourth grade.